Hi, hello, welcome to the Daily Tarot Buffet brought to you by Vertex of Abundance. My name, darling, is Priestess Abossi. I'll be your oracle today. I was sent to deliberate the findings for the transiting moon in Scorpio. It's going to be between the 21st and the 24th. Most places in the world, give or take about half a day, and that's the month of December. So it's an interesting time because we're changing seasons. On the 22nd, regardless of the technicality, is when I make the cutoff here in the temple, Vertex of Abundance Galactic Temple of Ascension. So we're going to go ahead and act like it's the 11th house, even though it's going to be a little bit of the 10th house still. Okay. So what we'll get also is the next transiting moon, which will be Sagittarius, will also be 11th house. So there'll be two little bits and pieces there where it says 11th house, and that's going to happen every cycle, usually in the first week of the season. Okay. And that's just a key indicator for those who are watching. Usually the students are really on it. That's a key indicator that we've switched seasons. But the 22nd of every month is when we go for the ingress, which means we leave Capricorn season, we're going into Aquarius season. So there's this song called In the Window or In a Window by Revolution. Listen to it, it's coming through. You know, we're content, even if it doesn't seem like we got that bag, we got that man, we got that cash money dollar bills. We found something that keeps us secure. And, you know, that's what the 11th house is. It's the karma that we receive in this lifetime. It's basically the version of karma that is worked on. It's a very dharmic house, but it talks about the gains. So the yields from work put in, meaning basically what we reap out of life. We sow in the third and the sixth house, and we reap in the ninth and the 11th house. Okay. So it's also our larger network, friends group, benefactors. It's also our heaven door. We have Retina de Copa. So there is a little bit of magic, but this, if I'm detecting magic, which I'm going to go back to just the typical reading, it's a cultural thing, by the way. If there is some type of spiritual interference, energetic projection, it would typically be, number one, from the origins of our life. Number two, it would be about somebody that had an understanding of our entire life, path, spirit, karma, destiny. Again, why I'm saying the origins of our life. Number three, it would be something about like destiny swapping or some type of long-term opposition, adversarial energy, and inimical energy. Number four, it could even be spiritual. It could be like an entity, not anchoring into the energy of a being, of a person in the physical, but it would be some type of entity in another realm, place, times, dimension that might have followed the family, especially during this little handoff period where we're switching from the 10th to the 11th house, especially during the season change, meaning the sun is moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius. It could definitely be that, because the 10th house would talk about like a familial curse, a generational curse, some type of lifetime spell put on a person. Does that make sense? Because typically spells have like a termination point. It has a beginning period and ending period. A curse, however, could last multiple lifetimes. And so, again, like I said, that's very cultural. Not everybody believes in magic. Not everybody believes in God as we know it. You know, once we leave the body, we discover that God is not so much a being as it is the energy of all that is. Jesus represents all of the love in the universe aggregated, and or Christ represents the highest cumulative compound energy of love, and God or spirit or creator or source represents the highest compound or aggregate consciousness of the universe, and that does exist. Source, creator, all that is. Okay, God is an entity of our understanding, and actually, like when we try to understand the unfathomable, it gets ethereal and enigmatic. Okay, let's begin. We have the Queen of Cups with the Four of Cups. So we're feeling maybe detached, or we're needing to detach because there's some kind of information where we know all the facts, Two of Swords, but perhaps our feelings have not yet been processed. And there's also this Hangman. So maybe we're looking at things from a different perspective. We're trying to see or we're trying to get the perspective out of the situation, which is typically or generally or currently difficult to perceive. We often say, indecisive with the Two of Swords. It actually means discernment, especially with the Hangman. And, to be honest, it's confirmed. Other readers might argue, but the Four of Cups is that wishy-washy energy. Not really. It's one of rejection. There's another archaic meaning, which is detachment. That's what we use in my house here. So the Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups means needing Queen to detach Four of Cups. So it is an emotional thing, but it also means that something doesn't match our soul. Okay. Typically, I would bring in the energy of back burner. It's not here. There's not even the energy of malaise or apathetic. It's like maybe at an earlier time, there was some energy, entity, ideology that was advising us to be in a sunken place, apathetic, not rising up, handling up, bossing up, leveling up, G'ing up, glowing up, but more, sitting down, laying down, kind of failing to live or assert one's life. This is the energy of, yeah, okay, perhaps maybe, and quite awesomely, or quite probably, yes, underwhelmed, uninterested, unbothered. Maybe something's even a little bit boring or grotesque or repulsive, but it's one of detachment for sure, especially with the Two of Swords. We're looking at things not with a fine-tooth comb, but we're looking to see what we haven't seen yet, what we can learn. And typically it's going to be through some type of wisdom or based experience with La Peso, the Hangman here. So this was also something, I remember I was saying, like, it's a spell that will cover one's life, something that resembles a curse. A covering is usually the Four or the Knight. And then the soul itself, embodied in the flesh, is the Nine of Cups or the La Peso, the Hangman. See, I can't speak English when I touch this card. There's some magic here. Um, and I'm getting magic on the Queen of Cups as well. So I don't feel, because this is our position here, so I don't feel it came from a mother, probably from somebody in the mother. That happens a lot, especially spiritual families. Excuse me if you're Western or agnostic or atheist or scientific or whatever. I'm sorry. Um, you know, it's not uncommon for somebody in the mother side of the family to look at our destiny when we're born and be jealous and try to swap or suppress in some kind of way. The fours can speak to suppression, repression, oppression, depression, projection, but I would need to see more sevens or more fours. We just have one at this current place in time, most particular, precise, present moment. Let's continue. We have the Six of Swords with the Page of Swords. So that's feeling open, feeling clear, feeling maybe like we've gained access to something, because we're also feeling discerning. With the Queen and the Two of Swords out here, we're also feeling like we've discerned something. There's a creative new beginning of some kind with the Ace of Wands, and we've taken a cold hard look in the depths of our soul with this Eremithia, the Hermit. Okay, so this line, our line here, has a lot of Stregheria Benederia on it, some kind of magic or baneful magic. Brigado, yeah, baneful magic that's turned benevolent, something that was evil or malignant or maleficent or malicious, that has dissipated. That has, we've learned how to grow out of the cracks in the cement. We've learned how to turn that poison into medicine. We've learned how to turn that test into a testimony. We've learned how to turn that mess into a message. That's what I'm getting thus far. Let's see what the cards say, but let's also pay attention to that. So I know there's more pages coming out, but thus far we have the Page of Swords with the Two of Swords and the Six of Swords, which would mean we're feeling open, clear. We're also feeling discerning, because Hermit with the Queen of Cups means that we've taken a cold hard look at our soul. We've gotten to the depths, Hermit, of our soul. We've found our inner light. We've turned within for answers, and we've attuned, aligned with soul's wisdom. Hermit card, especially with the Hangman and the Queen of Cups. It means that we have wisdom based on the quality and the authenticity, genuineness, sincerity of our soul. And we're open to something that feels, that calls, that resonates with this Ace of Wands. We're open to a creative new beginning, but something feels like we're detached from it. We're kind of cold. And not in a term of like callousness or, Page of Wands, Alpha Queen, the L'Imperatrice, the Empress. And we have our double 6 now with the Six of Pentacles and the World card. So that says to me that there's gifts, there's blessings, there's abundance because of fruits and support and choice, favor. We have aligned with the goddess. This is Adi Shakti, Parvati, Empress with the World card, especially the Hermit. So we've become a priestess of the divine, a high-ranking priestess. Literally, we've merged into the Divine Mother. We've merged into the all that is. So our life has given us some type of achievement here. And even though it was rock bottom for a moment or hard knocks for a moment, or I'm perceiving, I'm not seeing. Whatever did that happen taught us something, gave us something, made us something. And that's what we're about. We also have a double page here, which means there is definitely a journey of learning here. And what it gave us was the concept and idea of our actual value, our worth. And then here comes the worth, Queen of Pentacles. So this is the second queen here. That's high worth, value, self-respect, and also being deserved because we're a golden goose of some kind. 10 of Cups. So we've taken our place in the heavenly choir. It's for certain with this King of Swords. King of Swords, Six of Swords. We mastered access to the Lord with the Hangman present. 5 of Pentacles here, but it came through being left out. So we were left out in the cold, stripped, maybe even binded or bound by somebody. Definitely stripped. Our energy was harvested. Our gifts got stolen in a previous time. That's behind us now. We've mastered that. We've overcome that. It forced us to kind of go to the Lord again, to relearn, to re-establish. Even though it seemed like we were kicked out or cut off, or the spigot on our gifts, or the spigot on our soul, or the spigot on our creativity, our harmony, our joy, our grace, our divinity was turned off, was turned down, we figured out a way to get it back. It could be through community, it could be through the mother. It's also, if bad things happen, negative things happen, evil things happen, malignant things happen, malevolent things happen, malicious things happen, it was through the mother's side. But whoever did it was very militaristic. And they were successful at some time. It was almost like a breadcrumbing. They're going to force us to vie and to beg for the things that were rightfully ours, that were owed to us through our divine birthright. Yeah. So something did in the previous time of our life, early developmental period of our life, something did happen to us. And a senior ranking family member, an elder, so it would be an older sibling of the mother or the mother, did something negative, spiritual to us, or they, whatever language resonates with us. And they're worried right now trying to keep it going because it's loosening up. And oftentimes this could change if they, depart the world, if they transition to another realm, that the binding, the covering could leave. That's not what I'm getting. I'm not receiving any physical death here. It's more, yeah, and again, we got another confirmation. There's somebody's trying to keep their whatever going. They're trying to keep their con, their racket, their suppression, depression, oppression, because they blocked us. They betrayed us and they blocked us at another time. and they needed to service that, to attend to it now. They rudely interrupted and intervened in our destiny. They closed and blocked our road. They didn't want love or opportunities coming to us. And it wasn't about money, it was more about the calling on our life. They did a perfect job. It lasted for a long time. It was perfection what they did, but it didn't last forever. Now, another word here is that if that doesn't resonate, it's still there. It's just that we would perceive the energy differently if that's not how we're culturally attuned. You know, another message here would be that it took a while for us to reach spiritual perfection. Temperance, that's the angel wings. It's healing, it's all those kinds of things. And now we have a new beginning of our heart's desires here, Ace of Cups. It can be love too, but it probably is love. I think love might also give us that last little bit of healing. And I don't believe in the narrative that love heals all, especially for a chosen being. That's a different type of being that incarnates as a human, where love completely rewrites their entire paradigm. Usually for a chosen child, love is the last thing that comes in, and every other thing, every other box gets checked off first. Okay, because love can distract a person from their spiritual path, if that makes sense. But we have a name that has been known through the ages, some kind of deity name. We're part of one of the creator goddesses' priestesshood. And we incarnate through that bloodline, through that lineage, which means we have certain types of powers that we're born with. And there would be an enemy, an entity that would be fighting this. And it's the primordial kind of warfare. So the Leviathan wouldn't be far in those cases. We are looking at the moon here. But this is some kind of lifetime after lifetime warfare where somebody kind of follows us through the portal. We have a karmic after us, somebody that comes every lifetime to be a problem. I'm going to repeat that. Somebody that comes lifetime after lifetime to be a problem, probably a sister or the other woman. It's not an older sister, Queen of Swords. It's not a mother-in-law, Queen of Swords. It's somebody that feels like we took something from them. So us having this, having that, being this, being that, all about this, all about that is almost an offense to them. They feel like they cannot have it because we have it. And somebody here could be a Gemini sun, to a lesser degree, Virgo rising. Somebody here could be an Aquarius sun, to a lesser degree, Taurus rising. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. And we also have a Virgo moon here that's been coming up a whole lot. That could again be Gemini rising. Now, we could have a probably most likely Sagittarius rising. To a lesser degree, Leo rising. Again, so we have a Gemini rising here and a Sagittarius rising. Almost certain. So we have a, oh, okay, and then also there's some very strong Leo energy here. So somebody does have the Aquarius rising. It's more likely that we do have an Aquarius rising here too, and a Gemini rising, and a Sagittarius rising, because those energies keep coming up. It's repeated. It's repeated. It's repeated. So the Leo rising, that person may have Mercury in Aquarius, which would mean they're probably most likely a Capricorn, an Aquarius, or a Pisces. Now, sun sign, and then we also have this Aquarius rising. They if they don't have Mercury in the first house, then they have Mars and or Jupiter and or Venus in the seventh house. So that would be somebody that's fighting us. So Venus in the seventh house, they want our beauty. They feel like we get more attention than they do. They feel like people love us more than they love them. Mars, they feel like it's easier through life for us. Like opportunities come to us easier. Like we get more credit for our work easier than they do. Um, Jupiter, they feel like we have more luck, like the life that we have, the support and the love from God that we have. It's unfair. That's what I'm getting. Now, we are needing to make some changes here, and they're pending. That might be some of this discernment that I'm getting. Now, I do want to say, whatever enmity, animosity that we are receiving, we are the genuine article. So, whatever we are receiving or whatever somebody is jealous of us for, I want to say, like, it's ours. Like, it's us. Like, we're the real deal. And we do, unfortunately, have God's favor. So, if somebody's upset, because okay, and then another message for the person who's a Leo rising, they probably are dealing with somebody who is like a an Aquarius sun sign or um and this Aquarius sun sign, it's interesting too because it's a sad story. This Aquarius sun sign, they are really, there's a moral injury here. So something happened where like nobody was able to give them what they needed. While they were growing up, nobody really understood who they were. The thing that makes them special was never fostered, nurtured, was never cultivated. And so they have this worth and value, this hidden value, this hidden gold, this hidden treasure. And it's almost like they never got their chance, they never got their shot. But instead of turning loving, caring, generous, and kind, they become evil, sinister, wicked, miserly, and bitter. They're ruminating, oscillating, vacillating, and hate, marinating in venom. And it is their responsibility to do something about, but it might not be their fault. It's a tough place to be. So they're of two minds. They just don't want to see us succeed because they perceive them having better something than us. But it might not be that they're more evolved. It might just be that we are both differently evolved. They're whatever, they were born in the wrong time. There was nobody around them. I'm getting a lot of messages here. There was nobody around them that, yeah, I'm telling you what it is. I understand them very well. It was never, yeah. So they're part of our soul group. We need to just give them love. It's really hard to love the enemy, but the enemy is a needy child. Is the way I look at it. They're not giving the love and affection from Creator, which is God or the universe that they need. So they don't have the requisite maturity to show up, handle up, level up, boss up, G up, glow up. You know, they would do better if they knew better. That's what I'm getting here. It's just that they have their Venus and their Sun in the seventh house, and it's also in Aquarius. I'm also getting okay, and that's the truth. I'm also getting that they might be feeling a little bit neglected from us by us. Because they're wanting to cut something off. They're wanting to create some boundaries. They're wanting to um, because they feel like they're in the dark about something and they've been left in the dark. They want to make us feel how they feel, which is a whole wrong strategy by the enemy. It's a persistent, constant one since the beginning of time. It's a story as old as time. So we have a double six here. So there's some kind of gifts, blessings, favors. The triple six. The three sixes talks about soulmates, talks about the soul group, talks about the soul family, talks about the favor from the Lord, talks about being chosen. I'm hearing something about the Beauty and the Beast soundtrack as well. So this person, they have a beautiful personality, but they don't necessarily have a beautiful face. Or they're a weird kind of beauty. Like the thing that's beautiful about them is that they're strange. They don't know how to move through this world, not in the way that's going to put them on the map. And we got to move on. Um, I'm not saying abandon them. We have to move on from this narrative. And they're a Leo rising, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Venus, conjunct in the seventh house with Mercury close by, which means that they speak very well. They're very eloquent. They can probably sing. They're very creative. They're very eloquent. They are exceptionally attractive. They attract a lot of freaks, though. Excuse my language. They attract a lot of energy from people, and they're probably getting stopped, getting targeted. Somebody's upset with them because they wouldn't yield, they wouldn't give. So they also just pray for them, intercede, pray for them, and go before the Lord in prayer for them and move on. We don't have to contact them, reach out to them because they've done something nasty to us. They cut us off, they cut us out. They had squandered opportunity potential from when they were younger. They missed their spot. They missed their time. Damage was done early in life. They didn't get their shot because of fear from the conditioning program from their caregivers. Whoever was raising them up decided to block them, prevent them from something because they didn't know how to handle up on their unique qualities, talents, and abilities. Okay. And so they're carrying a wound because they see that they should be living vicariously. They should, through us, they should be helping us. Instead, they decided to block us because they're, okay, I just heard the word oozer, because they're miserly embittered. Okay. So I'm also seeing soul group here. We're both river priestesses. They are very much so. They're the ruler of the Tahoso. So that's their Ganesha child. Um, it's Oshumare and Orisha. I don't do Orisha, I do Vudun. I'm a little bit further up the coast than Nigeria. I'm more like Ghana, Togo, Benin. Um, in India, it's called the Ashtavasu. So in puja and ritual and ceremony and feedings, the river speaks up a lot for this child. They also have a gungun, so they have the ancestors with them, but their fire, they need to temper themselves. They're very vindictive. They like to punish people too easily. They like to make a point. They need to learn to meditate, to let things go. It doesn't mean that they tolerate or condone what happened to them, but they need to let God fight their battles. That's not happening. It's not happening. They're keeping score and it's gonna destroy them. I call it they need to be in partnership with the Lord instead of strategizing. So they're looking around head on the swivel too much for some type of affection, adoration, appreciation, acknowledgement, and that's gonna come from the divine. They're gonna have a pretty austere life right now because nothing in this world is gonna soothe them, satiate them. They're gonna have to go into the spiritual, and they better not be going to the devil either. They need to keep their soul clean and pure. Right now, though, there's some animosity. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely a river child. We have a double ace here. So it took us a long time, us, to find out that we were chosen. Because for the longest time, the people around us, probably through the family, were using our status, whether it was our name, our money, our spiritual gifts, whatever, what have you. It's different stuff for different folks. The thing that makes us special, it was being exploited by others. Really more hidden from others. They never told us the truth about who we were, what we are, and why we were so special. But you see, we gained some wisdom here, strength, courage, and wisdom here. And we're overcoming something because by doing that, everybody created more karma. Everybody created hell on earth. There's a Leo here that we're involved with. It could be a Scorpio rising or a Leo sun. They're probably, if they don't have their Mars in the 10th house being a Scorpio rising, then they have Mars conjunct their sun. Yeah, dark future ahead of me. That's what they said. I'd be starving if I ate all the life that you fed. 'Cause I've been redeemed from your anguish and pain. Miracle child, I'm floating on a cloud. Yeah, we got out of that. We were in some nasty, musty, dusty, crusty familial energy, and it was also a curse. We're the curse breaker, the generational curse breaker for our family. So we got up and out of something. And I'm detecting that somebody, the person that is inimical, feels wronged that we decided to walk and leave. It was never something that they can do. Sometimes it's easier to deal with the devil that you know versus the devil that you don't know. And here's the thing, we don't care. Like some of us are strong enough to walk. I'll walk alone. I'll go without. Nothing's gonna destroy my peace, okay? I don't need you for nothing. Not a thing, not a ting, not a ting, not a thing. Yeah, so okay, so now we're either dealing with an Aries rising or a Capricorn sun. And I need a minute. So there could also be some. So here's that classic devil that you do versus devil that you don't. Our gifts, our talents, our abilities, our favor, our support was gate kept. It was gate kept. And now we're coming into the energy of it returning. I made a mistake there, so we got to go on. What's this double page? We were intentionally kept unaware to sort with the page of cups. It can be that we were naive in some kind of way, shape, form, or another. The energy is returning. That was something that was removed or robbed or withheld or suppressed at an earlier time is returning. And I'm actually sending some energy back here. So I'm curious to see how this goes. Some energy is being sent back. I'm curious to see how this goes because there is some truth coming out. Some damage has been done. Once the truth comes out, like respect or trust or safety or even liking somebody is never gonna really return. Now, we'll always love whomever this energy, entity, ideology is, but it doesn't mean we'll like them. We'll always kind of have respect for this energy, entity, ideology, but might not actually respect them. We might not actually trust them. We might not actually feel even safe with them. And that's kind of part of what this is, because our spot got tinkered with, tampered with. Something about our gifts, our abilities, something about our purpose, something that should have been celebrated and shared was stolen and robbed. And it was because of ignorance, illusion. This is the other party. There might have been fear, some kind of obsession. And it was suppression. They wanted to take it away. They did successfully take it away. They suppressed it, pinned it down. And again, we're some kind of tribute too. So they could have come back several times to gain something from us. Either that or there's a Cancer rising here, which I'm not getting at all. But we're already 40 minutes in. Let's close this out. Nine of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. That's our life there. Our cup is finally we're getting our spiritual inheritance because we have a large celestial endowment. But the other side wanted to, they were fearful, or no, it's not that they were fearful. They wanted to, grant me a moment. They wanted to create, because we have a nine here with the Four of Cups and a nine here with the King of Wands, and it's both a Nine of Wands here. They wanted to create barriers, maybe even obstacles. And it came undone. It backfired, but it was like an eventuality. And everything in this reading is compared to the Ace of Swords. Everything in the previous reading was compared to the Two of Pentacles. So Two of Pentacles is intercession. Ace of Swords is truth and supreme authority. Five of Swords which is the nature of the situation, that's intervention. And it's saying that there was a partnership coming to intervene, and that was of a familial origin. And the partnership was of a spiritual nature. So somebody in our family teamed up with the devil to prevent us from attaining our destiny. And there's a backfire right now because we've been going to the Lord. And the Lord looked at us and be like, why is my baby going without? Why my baby not got no pants? Why my baby ain't clean? Why my baby ain't, prayed up and fed and sitting in fine threads and clothes? Why is my baby on the outs, on the down and outs here? What's up with this? Who did what? That's the truth. We've come before the throne of the divine. Four of Swords is the throne of the Lord. It could be like fasting, or after you get injured, or when you're in like paralysis during sleep, or I'm getting all of this energy here. It just keeps on going. So there were obstacles put in the way for our destiny. And we were born with a very large celestial endowment, and it was exploited, it was drained by someone on the mother's side. And they breadcrumbed us our entire life. I'm trying to figure out like an earthly muggle version of this reading. There is a revelation, a shocking one, that brings us perspective about discernment that we've been needing for some time. Apparently, there was some opposition or blockages around our life's work, our legacy, our fulfillment, and our happiness. The things that we deserve according to our work, our value, the fruits of our own labor, there were some barriers to this because of collective energies, whether it was spiritual, physical, maybe people in our environment, maybe this the universe and how things were melding together. They had effectively blocked something for us, and we were on the losing side for most of our life. But that journey, that cycle, taught us something that can't be taken. When you get the hermit in the universe, basically the universe itself taught you. The spiritual world or God themselves came to us here in the physical through whatever way and gave us like private tutoring. So there's a pair of fives here. Yeah, we were innocent and unaware. We might even been naive. And again, the same five came back, and finally we got Cancer energy. So we moved forward. It's not, this is a Libra rising. We moved forward on some type of mess that became a message, test that became a testimony. That's confirmed. This double 10 is talking about this pair of 10. The cycle's over, and we're the ones on the winning side of justice. That's the truth. Because that what happened was petty and demonic, and it was over our seat wherever we ruled from, our throne. And this pair of kings here, they were trying to destroy our opportunities, our options here. They wanted to move forward on stripping us from our soul. They didn't want to be cleared out. They didn't want to be purged from the spot they had taken that was rightfully ours. And that's what I'm getting. So there was just some kind of toxic, negative, evil influence over our life, and the damage had been done from a very high level. But something manifests. They had manifested everything they could manifest out of that damage that they did, which was a triangulation usurp. We were gaslit, and there was a mirage, some kind of facade. There was some kind of gassing, glamour magic that lasted as long as it could, but we started to wake up. And that's what the story is. So, just a quick prayer out there for all those still lost to illusion, delusion, confusion, trapped in the matrix, lost in the season of time, yet to heal, yet to awaken, yet to return to the splendid grace of the divine and unconditional love and universal oneness. Ho'oponopono, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be whole. May you be at peace. May you receive everything you want, starting with what you deserve. I pray that you return to the resplendent grace of the divine, steps ordered, your path illuminated. Until we meet again, until we read again. Namaste, Dhanavad, and Ashe. Again, my name is Serene Priestess Abossi. I was your oracle today, and I was sent to deliberate the daily tarot buffet for the transiting moon into, I believe, Scorpio. Which was the 11th house. So this was a message about the early days of our life and some kind of swapping or usurping of our divine birthright. We had a very large celestial endowment from the beginning of our life, and somebody around the origins, probably on the mother's side, saw that and interfered, interceded, interjected, intervened, interrupted for personal reasons. This enemy, energy, ideology had this thing where they were miserly, embittered, perhaps even sinister, evil, and wicked because they were overlooked. They missed out. their own unique gifts at the origin of their life were mishandled, mistreated, misjudged, misperceived. They were never nurtured, they were never fostered. And this person is walking through the world knowing they have a gift, knowing they have worth and value, and it's not being honored, it's not being acknowledged, it's not being affirmed, it's not being appreciated. And it's created some type of enmity towards us. Instead of living vicariously through us and helping us reach further heights than they ever did, they decided to block, to hinder, to create barriers and obstacles. And that's coming undone. That's being removed. That's being resolved. Because the divine itself, the universe itself came and personally tutored us on who we were, what we are, and what we're about. And now that we're stepping into the light, now that we're sitting down on our own throne, reclaiming our birthright, there's an entire title shift. There's an entire sea change, and it's just beginning to happen. So until we meet again, until we read again, namaste, dhanavad, and ashe, sayonara, das vidanya, avidazain. See you in the next one. Take good care. Like, comment, share, subscribe, leave a review, book a session, send a donation. Bye, dear.